Welcome into tonight's episode or today's episode as you're watching this of the Cavalier Connection as we do a little UVA Cal preview. And we have a special guest coming on with us. Tell the Whole Damn World, a podcast covering Cal sports that's going to join us tonight. Jay, I know you're a little under the weather. How you making out?
Yeah, had to be a gamer tonight. Setting the tone for this weekend as the Who's, make no excuses. Show up and play. It's a podcast day. It's a game day. We go out. We grind. Got the flu shot today. Feeling a little bit of the yuck, but rise and grind, and we're here for another episode.
All right. Well, want to make sure everybody knows this episode is brought to you by our friends at Mincer's. If the competition were a football opponent, this is kind of taking a shot, but it'd be William and Mary because Mincer's beats it by a mile. We've got our gear from Mincer's and the quality's on another level. Soft hoodies, sharp hats, and that clean Wahoo look you can't fake. The Who's are at Cal Saturday at 3:45, and basketball tips off next week. Perfect time to upgrade your orange and blue. Find the Mincer's on the corner, at the shops at Stonefield, or online at mincers.com. And if you're going to Mincer's, go right to the cavalierconnection.com and click the Mincer's link right there and make your purchases there. It helps us out. It helps Mincer's out. And keep an eye out on their Instagram and their reels. They'll pop these deals up. And yesterday they had a 30% off all hoodies deal. And you can't beat that. So go check them out.
That included hoodies that were already on the orange tag.
Yes.
So there were some great deals out there to be had.
Definitely some great deals. So definitely go check them out. And we'd appreciate it if you do it from the cavalierconnection.com link. All right, and tonight we have the privilege of having the Tell the Whole Damn World podcast covering Cal sports with us. We have Reza. I hope I'm saying it right. And Ahmad with us. How you guys doing tonight?
We're cool and gang, baby. Good to see you all. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, so we're heading West Coast to see the Cal team. And for us Virginia fans who might not follow Cal closely, how would you guys describe the identity of this year's team and what defines them on both sides of the ball?
That's a question I think we're still trying to figure out ourselves. We started off the season 3-0, and expectations kind of went through the roof. And then our fourth game happened. We were favored by 2 touchdowns against San Diego State, and somehow we lost at 34-0. It was an away game, but still, that's just like what happened. And so it's been a little inconsistent for us. So after starting 3-0, we've only gone 2-3 since then to sit at 5-3. And, fan base a little rumbly and kind of like, I'm not sure what's going on. And so we are struggling to kind of figure that out. What we do know is that we have an amazing talent, true freshman quarterback, who I'm sure you've heard about. Jaron Kiave Sangapolatele. And that kid, my goodness, he's got a golden arm. He is just a revelation. He's just way better than anybody could have expected for being as young as he is, for sure, and just has this incredible talent. And so our challenge really is to keep him upright and let him complete some passes down the field. And we have struggled running the ball. That's I don't think that's I'm not giving away any secrets there. We have Kendrick Raphael, who is quite good as our primary running back. In our last game against Virginia Tech, both backup running backs were out with injury, so I'm not sure how that's going to play into Saturday's game. But he's been very good, but we just haven't been able to consistently get the ground game going. So that's put a lot of pressure on Sangapolatele to just put a lot on his shoulders. And so that's, I think, our challenge. We've been really kind of searching for a real identity. I think the coaching staff, wants to establish the run for sure to take some of that pressure off of them. But we'll just have to see how we do. On defense, we we're probably got some pretty good linebackers. You may have heard of Cade Uluave, who's really the leader of that defense. Had a team high 19 tackles. I think it was a career high 19 tackles for him in the last game against Virginia Tech, and he's really solid and good. But yeah, just all over the board, I guess what I'll say is been able to hang our hat on our defense. But this year, our defense is, we have 5 players who went from last year's defense to the pros, to the NFL, and they're doing quite well at the pro level. So replacing those guys has also been a bit of a challenge. So it's a mixed bag. We'll see. I think we have the potential to do some great things. We feel like we haven't played our best game yet, and I guess that's kind of a long answer to your question, but I'll let Ahmad say a few words in there too.
What I know is we better play our best game this weekend. That's what I know. If there's anything that I recognize is that there are some similarities between our teams. For a guy who played for the Bears, and my last season was 82, what I see is both teams. Virginia's got a great team. You've all have done some amazing things. I know folks have talked about who you've played and thus far, but a win's a win. No one in the locker room cares about that. Oh, we didn't play Ohio State, or we didn't play, Georgia or whoever. Who cares about that? End of the season, I want a winning record. Ask the athletic director and the alumni. I want a winning record and the fans. The other part of that is you want to get to a bowl game. And most importantly, all those add up to retaining players. You hope in this NIL world. You hope. And as I've said before, and I'll say it again, you can't move yourself on the chessboard of football, if you will, or the playing field to an NIL opportunity if your team isn't really winning and you as an individual, collectively, us together are not winning, and this is where you are. As it relates to the team similarities along this line, both teams have offensive lines that have had some challenges and really need to be able to dominate, protecting the quarterback and sustaining a dominant run game. We've had this intermittently, as I've seen Virginia has had the same as well. And when it's hot, it's hot. And we've had the same experience. In San Diego, it was not. Can't get the run game going. So as a DB, as I was, I sit back and wait and eat the popcorn. Like, I know it's coming to me because you can't run, you can't get around the perimeter, you can't get inside. And so I also recognize from a defensive standpoint, as a defensive back, I'm biased. I love my DBs, but like your DBs, we have some challenges. We have some challenges, and can be, as you all would say back there, whooping on them, and yet, bang, a strike. It happened, bang, came back down the middle field. But guess what? Don't look in the backfield watching the running back if you're the free safety. All my coach used to say, don't get beat deep. Mm-hmm. That's it. And so both of them, I find that it's going to be quite a competitive opportunity right now, because now's the time where people are fatigued, right? Either you're flying to us or we're flying somewhere else. It's happening all over the nation. And you see that along with injuries or people playing banged up. Man, this is it. 5-3, baby. It's not quitting time. It's step up and getting it time. So I feel that's where I'm looking at it. I think it's going to be a very good game because both teams are trying to let the world know, and we say it's to tell the whole damn world that Cavaliers are real and the Bears are better than what you think we are. We just keep having a misfire on our piss coming against those Cavaliers because you're going to be swashbuckling things, baby. So, but if we do it right, the Bears are going to be out there like, let's go now. So I'm going to have to say this, that, and this, and that. So let's go.
I got to say, though, last week, I was the biggest Cal fan in the country. Y'all let us down. Y'all let us down.
Two bigger Cal fans at all last
and
week.
now this week, I hate Cal more than any.
I'm glad I'm not dating you, baby.
I'm wishy-washy. Oh, man.
You want to go to movies or have dinner? What is it?
I want a little bit of all. I want you to be the chance.
That's what my lady says all the time. I want it both, honey. You know. So I get it.
Yeah. You're a quarterback, and I can't say his name. You did such a great job saying his name.
Give it to him, Reza.
Jaron Giave Sangapolotele.
There he is. So what are his strengths as a passer?
Well, you know, he's just got these intangible qualities that you usually see with a senior quarterback, right? Like this great feel, the ability to hit passes deep. I mean, it's really kind of fun. They saw that first game against Oregon State. Not that Oregon State's world beaters, but the placement of his passes were just like immaculate. I mean, Pat McAfee was going like, this kid is just outstanding, right? I mean, everybody in the nation was just talking about him the very next day after seeing what he was able to do. And he's had numerous games like that. You know, when the pressure gets to him, it's just like with every other quarterback, right? You know, that's the key to disrupting any quarterback from getting into a rhythm. But he's got great feel and a knack for throwing those deep passes. And if we can just give him enough time to be upright and deliver those passes, then you know I have high hopes for our team. I don't think we've played anything close to our best game. Ahmad just alluded to it that we've misfired a lot, like little penalties, false starts, things like that. And we're someone I remember recently in another podcast mentioned it, that we kind of like have a fragile offense. It seems like everything has to go right for it to really click. And if we get disrupted one way or another, then it just kind of doesn't go the way at least we want it to go. So but anyway, I mean he's certainly the bright spot for this team. Looking forward to building a team around him for next season, but that's next season, and we'll see where we go. But
I know Ahmad hit nail on the head with our secondary. We this year we've given up our share of those long balls, and he doesn't need a lot of time. When we blow it, we blow it. I'm just telling you, 20 yards wide open down the field. And it's like, what the heck happened here? So, but then we've really been a defense of first half, just struggling. The quarterback from North Carolina, Gio, last name fails me now. He averages 151 yards passing a game. In the first half, he had 173 yards against us. But then the second half, and this has happened 2 weeks in a row, we've been able to lock down. I think he only threw for 30 something in the second half. So he's not the caliber quarterback of your guy, but the opportunity is definitely going to be there, and that's the kind of stuff that makes me nervous for sure. Yeah.
You know, one thing you talked about us being similar, Ahmad, and I couldn't help but think we're combined about 3 inches from being 0-2 against Carolina.
Yeah.
Because when Carolina fumbled into the end zone, going in to win that game, I don't know if you saw the way our game ended with Carolina.
Yep.
But the 2-point conversion was literally, an inch or two short. And aside from that, they had the exact same situation. Guys going in for a touchdown in the first quarter, and we knock it out, and it's a touchback. We get the ball to 20.
Wow.
So,
look, it reminds me of literally, we're on the edge. We're like, here we go again. This can't happen. What happened? And it's like somebody, like a little kid walking over, and you've seen this in cartoons, and they pull that little string on the shirt, and the shirt just unraveled. And you're like, what? And they're standing there like, what just happened? And we end up with the ball. We end up with the ball. I also think when I think about those situations, it's those bright moments of maturity and athletics of understanding the physics of the game, what to do at that particular time. Whereas we get an interception, right, in the end zone, and the DB tries to run it out. I mean, he starts like he's going to run it, and I'm like, take a knee, and finally, I mean, those are the things that you think about. What is missing in the synergy of having teams that have been together for some time, knowing, trusting, and believing that the guy next to you is going to do the job they're supposed to do, opposed to DBs like on both of our teams looking into the backfield, and clearly you take a read step, but today, right then, right now, you don't do it. I mean, inside linebacker, and he is from sideline to sideline, from hash mark to hash mark. He is this combination of a bull rusher to a rover and can get the job done. I think the intensity in which he plays matches at least the mindset of how the defense goes or wants to go. And that's not rare for inside linebackers to be able to lead the team, but he gives me that same kind of feeling that we have a guy that's on our podcast, Dave Ortega, number one tackler of all time, Hall of Famer. He has that kind of intensity. I dare not say you want to make triplets and duplicates of this guy, but it's that kind of defense that's going to make the difference in this game. I'm hoping that we get a game that it's really on the edge of our seats, like 7-7, 14-7, as we're going down the line, and it's going to make a difference. And like you said, we flip the court. Right? We get out and we bang, and then you guys, and then bang, it flips. So it's going to be. I'm excited. I mean, I'm not feeling, like my podcast partner there. He's like, oh no. And
I like that.
And I gotta say, you're right. I'm like, get back in here.
Hey, you know me, I'm optimistic. I look at it this way. I mean, I feel like it's a big opportunity for us. And you guys are ranked number 15 in the country, 7-1. I mean, that's a big opportunity for us, right? So hats off to you guys. I got a good friend of mine, Dave Powders, went there to Virginia when we first talked about starting the podcast. He was all excited about it. And, I was thinking like, man, he's such a storied history. But I got to say that, we're similar in another way, just in the sense that we've had a lot of close shaves, right? I mean, you guys barely beat Washington State. And that one was like, wow, that one really came down to the wire, and North Carolina. So in back-to-back weeks, you guys have had a real close time of it, just like we had against Boston College, barely winning that one with the interception, and then against North Carolina, of course. So we both have had like our share of close shaves, and I think this game may very well come down to a play or two, and it's going to be a tight one. It'll be a close one.
Yeah, it's crazy. 3 of the last 4 wins are in overtime. The one that wasn't was one on a safety with about 2 minutes, and we get a safety, and then we run out the clock. But let me ask you this, Reza. Me and Jeff, we're Commander fans, so we're very well aware of Coach Rivera and everything he's done in the NFL. He's now general manager for you guys. Do you think he's got a footprint on the program yet? And what's his vision for Cal football?
Well, it's interesting you asked that because, quite honestly, I think he was looking at Virginia as a model of what we can do and follow. Virginia and Indiana, about how we can rise up and elevate ourselves, because both programs have done really well And especially it's very challenging in this era of NIL and the transfer portal and how it's changed the landscape of everything. And we are just so thankful to have Ron Rivera as part of the program. And ever since he first came on board, and even before he came on board, he's been at work, like trying to make sure that we've got what we need to be successful as a program. And, with all of the wealth of experience that he has, he just commands that he has this presence about him that makes everyone feel like, okay, football backwards and forwards and is going to help get our program to that next level. And we really have no choice. I mean, us joining the ACC, you guys are kind of like a life raft for us, quite honestly, right? When everything else slipped away, it's like, oh my goodness, we don't want to end up like Oregon State and Washington State. And we're just so thankful. And in a lot of ways, the ACC makes a lot of sense. Academically, you guys have high academic credentials over there too, and it's like it makes a lot of sense, except for the geography, right? So and hey, I gotta tip my hat off to you guys, because that field rush that you guys had early this season when you guys beat Florida State was just epic. It was like literally one of the best moments I've seen in college football history. That was just so much fun to see. My God. So we're looking forward to a good game. But to get back to your original question about Ron Rivera, I mean, we actually have a little saying around here, and it's in Ron we trust, because we really do fully trust him with making the right decisions for our football program to get us to that next level.
100%. I mean, I played with Ron. He's a go after kind of guy. He's up in the box there at one of our alumni club boxes, and he's looking at the play. He's calling the play. He's reading what we should do, how we should do it. And with all due respect, he's not on the he's not on the phone. He's not got an earpiece in his ear and calling down to Wilcox saying this is what you need to do. He's letting a coach be a coach and let players play, and you learn from that. And so I'm excited that he's here. Was real excited for him to come home. Just to give a good shout out to my guy Richard Rogers, who was one of his coaches there at Commanders. He's at JMU right now, and JMU is killing the game. And Richard Rogers, he was one of the guys in the play who handled the ball several times. So I know what their mentality is go after them type of football, and that's what I expect, and that's what the university and our great fans expect as well.
So we've talked about your quarterback, and I'm not going to try it. I was thinking in my head, and I was like, see him throwing the ball to on Saturday. Who's the guy that we really need to worry about getting behind us and causing problems?
Well, I'm going to throw out three names who've kind of been there with us all season, have really stood out, and Jacob DeJesus is certainly somebody you'll hear the name of. He's very shitty after he torched us in our bowl game last year, the LA Bowl, and he returns punts for us as well, and is just very, very shifty at his size, and can definitely make people miss. Got a lot of speed, so you'll definitely hear his name a lot. And then Jordan King has got great mitts, and he's made some great catches for us. And Tron Grizel, walk on, and that guy can just elevate and get up over guys, and he's more of a deep threat. But you'll definitely hear those three names called, I would imagine, on Saturday.
Yep.
So what would you say are your strengths and weaknesses of the defense? I know in the Tech game, what we and Kyron Drones running a bunch as well. But what would you guys say is strengths? And I know we talked about also maybe some lapses in the secondary, but weaknesses maybe of the defense.
Go ahead, Reza.
You sure? Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, you know how it is in college football, right? Kind of begins and ends if you can stop the run. If you can't stop the run, why throw a pass,
Yeah.
right? There's an old saying, right, that when you throw the ball, three things can happen. Two of them will run, and that's exactly what Virginia Tech did. I think they ran 58 times on us because we weren't able to stop what they were doing. And so it was really disheartening to see. I don't know really why we had so much trouble kind of adjusting to what they were doing. But, that's just, I don't know if it was just an off night or what, but I'm sure hopeful that we don't end up having that kind of performance again, because we gave up 357 rushing yards, which is just a total embarrassment, really, when you take a look at it. And I think all the players would agree with that. That's just not acceptable. In fact, I mean, for me as the optimist, I'm looking at it and saying, how in the heck did we get done some good things, right? Because when you give up that many yards, you would imagine it's a blowout. But that wasn't the case. And we actually had a really good chance to win the game there before going into overtime. So, I look at it and I'd say that, if you'd asked me earlier this season, I'd say, that run defense, especially with our linebackers, was something we could hang our hats on. And now I don't know for sure what to tell you about that. I'm glad, thank goodness we're at home. You guys have to travel, and hopefully that plays into it as well. When we played Duke earlier this season, I know you guys aren't fans of that program, but man, we went up on them 14-0 and then 21-7. It looked like we were going to be able to put them away, and then they scored 38 unanswered points on us. So, the fact of the matter is that Duke is just a darn good team this year. I kind of finally came to that realization.
Yeah.
And we're hopeful that you guys aren't quite as good as you. I mean, I'm surprised. I mean, at 7-1, I would imagine you guys are a little pissed off to just be ranked number 15 in the country, right?
Yeah.
If you're 7-1, you would imagine you guys are top 10.
Well, Virginia.
We're happy that we're mentioned.
Yeah. It's been a struggle for several years now, and so our one loss was to NC State, which crazy enough was a non-conference game.
Right.
And we were driving down the field to win that game and potentially be 8-0 right now. But we could be 8-0, and at the same time we're a couple plays away from being like 3-5 right now as well. With our last 4 games have been decided by one score, and the only game that didn't go to overtime we won. I'm pretty thrilled to be 15 in the country. I think we broke Florida State, and then Louisville to win at Louisville, and they're pretty salty about that. Their fans are salty about that deal. And then you're a 17.5 point favorite against Washington State, even though I think they're much more talented than their record says.
Mm-hmm.
But you win that one in overtime by a point. So I think I'm happy to be at 15.
Yeah, we looked at the schedule before the year started and thought in our wildest dreams it was possible, but I don't think we got too much PTSD from about 35 years of living that
Oh gosh.
to be too confident.
Yeah.
But one thing that Virginia Tech did that we don't do very well, and I won't say we don't do it well, gave you Fitz because he keep it on the option there. I'll say this: when you're watching the game, if it's a key third down, a key fourth down, Morris will have handed it off the entire game, and your defensive ends will be crashing down. And when the team really needs a play, he'll pull it, and he'll put right around that end for a big play. So that's just something to watch for. But what would you say, Ahmad, has to go right? Like, what's the difference between the 34-0 loss to, the San Diego State and being up 21-7 on Duke team, like what has to go right?
But look here, is protecting the ball, and it's about consistency, and it's about not letting folks back into the game. That has been the case, that we don't stay with what is working. We don't make the correct adjustments. And here's the other one. Don't tell anybody. You have to catch the ball when it's thrown to you, and you need to be able to make tackles. I'm just saying.
That is knowledge right
I'm just
there.
saying. That happened in Pop Warner, and I still think it happened when I last put up my leather helmet when I played in '82. So that's what I know, and I love my Bears, but it's what gives me heartburn when I see, there was a play where the running back was running into the end zone in the last game, and our linebacker just put a shoulder into it without just wrapping up. And there's I know there's this feeling out there because of targeting, but have not. People kind of hold up. Practices are different, but it was even said, we've got to get back to basics. We have to spend more tackling. It's not that we don't know the plays. It's not that we haven't watched the film. It's the fundamentals. It's the fundamentals. Yeah. And somewhere in this mix of teams that have been able to stay together or put together the right mix of those individuals who are doing that are the teams that are super successful. And it can be frustrating, but edge of our seats. Like, are we going to be passed over in Virginia based upon who we play, and end up in the yuck bowl in Wyoming? Or and everyone's gonna say, do you want to travel to Wyoming? I do not. But and this is not my Wyoming, but you expect more when you win more, right? And then we're looking at, we've been to places we need to do better. And so the higher we get, the better it looks, but you got to bring your A game to the game.
Yeah. Oddly enough, one of the guys that Virginia brought in the transfer portal was the guy that kind of gave you guys fit in that last bowl game against you guys, and then we brought him in. So we're hopeful, but the roster gets turned over so much with the portal. I mean, Virginia's got 55, I believe, new players. And it's one of those things that's like, between the first year players and the new guys, it's hard to build. Coach Elliott has done a good job of building, I think, a program to standards. One of the things he talks about is you can't win if you don't flush the toilets. And he will leave. He walks through the locker room before he leaves every day to see if every toilet has been flushed.
Right.
Because if you can't be counted on to flush the toilet for your teammate, you can't be counted on fourth down.
You can't cover backside coverage. You can't come get across the line, come down the line. You can't protect the perimeter. Those are the basic things. Look, I'm an HR guy. And one of the things I did when I walked into a building, especially in the logistics world where I work, I'd walk into the building and I'd check the break room and the bathroom. And if the break room and the bathroom were funky, I knew the morale of the employees was funky too, because they just didn't give a damn. But if you see that the brain knows the sense of what purpose is to go after it when they get on the field, and they put that helmet on, they strap it on, and let's play. That is what you call guts. Grinding, unity, teamwork leads to success, baby.
I'm ready to put on my helmet for the Cowboys.
Yeah, Jay, get in the game, Jay. Jay, get Jay in the game. Yeah, no, Jay. Not that kid, Jay.
Oh gosh! All right, so Reza, I gotta ask you. It's a 12:45 kick your time. Typically, typically we find that the night game crowds, can be a little bit more raucous. What kind of energy should we expect in the building on Saturday?
Well, it's funny. I just tweeted about this because I'm a little ticked off about it, and I think it has everybody deflated after having lost that Virginia Tech game in the manner in which we lost it. But why can't we have a day game? Can we please get a day game? Because every game has been a late kick. It's been 7:30 over here, which is 10:30 over there on the East Coast, right? And finally, here's your wish: 12:45 p.m. Pacific. Beautiful day. It's going to be a gorgeous day. And I mean, the ticket projections from somewhere around 35, 33K. Like, really? Are you serious, Cal fans? I mean, you need to get out there and show your support for this team. It's just, I mean, we're 5-3. It's not like we're 3-5. Like, come on. And so I would say this, that, the night games are always a little tough on a lot of Cal fans when they come out that late at night, which I understand. It gets chilly. Easy, and, parking.
Easy. 65. 65.
That doesn't include you. That doesn't include you.
This is what I've been telling you the last couple of games, because we started 7:30 at night. So I'm like, wake me up at the halftime and bring me a cup of tea.
but it also does knock out the families who have young children, oftentimes when they have that late kick. So it's been challenging for us to really get good attendance for a lot of those night games. Student section has been showing up, which has been great to see. But, I would say that I would expect a greater turnout for this one. I mean, everything, it's a huge opportunity. Number 15th ranked team rolls into town. We're 5-3, gorgeous day. You got a generational talented quarterback. What's there not to like to come out there and support the team and get loud and be proud? And so I think, and I hope those projections I've heard, because I put out that tweet about it, and it was just kind of chastising fellow Cal fans for, what is this? And it already had over 18,000 views when I looked the other day, because it was it's making the rounds. I kind of kicked the hornet's nest about it. So I hope that helps play into it and get some more fans out.
Yeah, and then they unsubscribe to Tell the Whole Damn. and look, I'm looking at it, and I'm watching the numbers go, what did he do? What did he do?
Oh,
he said, well, I meant to tell you, I sent out a tweet. Oh, no.
Called him out.
You're right, but that's real. I mean, but that is, here's what we say. I don't care if you like a CC. Pac-12 is done for us. We've moved on, and look what we've got here. If you like big-time football, we got it. You don't have to be a Bear fan. You don't have to sit and watch ESPN or any other channel. You don't have to subscribe. Just pay the money. Come sit down. Get your popcorn, because it's the best. See us, Virginia. Come see us, Cal Bears, and everybody, whether it be football or basketball, swimming, whatever it is, we got it, baby. Baseball, the whole funky get down. So I'm tired of fans crying. Leave your towel at home, strap it on, come get in the game, be that 12th guy.
They need to hire you to come on TV and be the commercial.
Man, don't
advertisement.
Don't threaten me with.
And if you don't mind, we'll take the Cal stuff off of you. Throw some Virginia stuff on the
Look,
for us.
Virginia Tech was talking the same day. We were talking. They were like, "Well, North Carolina." They would say, "Well, old ribs on the table, some good old food, baby. Come on, don't threaten me with some hot water cornbread. Let's go."
I guess we give them the Virginia ham. The Virginia ham.
Man, slice and rice, baby. Let's go.
That's right.
I already know. Look, I have family back on the southeast and east coast, so in Atlantic coast there and so forth. So I know what that's like. So I really look forward to us having a great time and spending some time and and that we continue to have this type of relationship. And I don't know if you all do basketball and any other sports as well. Look, we'll be tuning in, and we want to keep this up. This is what it's about. And here I am. I was poli-sci major, but this is what the country needs now. I don't care where you are, progressive, independent, Democrat, Republican. This type of relationship where a sport that brings everybody to the table is the greatest and best way for us to learn about our cultures and who we are, and that we who have been to these schools, those of us who live near these schools or the greater community, have this opportunity to engage and be able to move the needle to a positive unity about what it is to be we, us together, we the people.
Yeah, well said.
Love that message.
There you
Hey,
go.
before we get you out, I did want to. But the next question I had is just funny. I was going to ask if you guys had a tradition or anything that you guys do at the football games, and then before we came on the air, I was, learning about kind of really how you guys came up with the name of your show. Can you talk to me about that saying and how that got started and the tradition of that at the Cal football games?
So I'll start with Bear Territory, and then Reza will roll it up and so forth. In 1980-81, I don't remember, it was either 2-9, 3-8 that season. We had been around, we played everybody. We played Georgia, Michigan, Florida, Army, whoever. And we were catching a beat down like a poor guy just not getting a break. He looking for change, but we were getting wooden nickels all the time. And so I'm looking, and here's what happened though. Every day, every weekend, because everybody's scoring a million touchdowns on us, we saw go Gators. Peach is here for Georgia. Army, the poor mule is running up and down the field, tongue is hanging out. I'm like, we couldn't. The horse for the Trojan was like, I'm not coming out anymore. This is not a track meet, And so this is not Kentucky Derby. I'm like, what are we going to do? We need to be able to show pride. My brother was at Dartmouth, the Big Green, and he said a professor's coming there, Bill Cole, and he teaches jazz and the history of jazz from Africa to New Orleans. And so I said, well, look, my name is Ahmad Jamal Anderson, and Ahmad Jamal is one of the famous jazz pianists. And I said, I know little jazz. This is an easy score for me. No problem. I'm going to get an A, no problem. I get in the class, and the teacher says, not only do you have to sit here and take a journal, I said, A. Not only do you have to be to class every day, A, but you have to listen to music in the library. I was like, oh, I'm out. I'm getting ready to drop this class. But he convinced me to stay. In there, I learned how jazz, as you know, through music, I don't care what a genre it is, but jazz, telling the story of people and their experience and what have not. So as I'm in there, I'm listening to the beat, and I'm thinking, man, Bears, territory, we're dominant. This is California. We need to be able to tell the whole damn world. We need to be robust. And I'm a defensive back, so I'm talking trash anyway, all day, every day. We could be losing. And I'm telling you, you ain't no good. You can't catch the ball. Don't come here again. The guy just caught a touchdown. I'm still talking trash. He's like, look at the score, pal. You're losing. So I'm like, we got to do this. So it started off being jazz, just telling the story, writing down stuff like that. And I went, you know it. You tell the story. You tell the whole damn world. This is Bear territory. I get up to the football field, share it with the defensive backs, and they're like, oh, yeah. And we start rocking it. You know it. You tell the story. You tell the whole damn world this is Bear territory. So then we introduced to the team, and the offensive line, defensive line, I love them. They're my pals. They're the protectors of the quarterback and protectors as DBs. But they were like, didn't have a lot of rhythm. So they were like, I said, well, I'll tell you what. Just when we get to you know it, you say, what? You tell the story. What? So it sounded more like this. You know it. What? You tell the story. What? Big guys. You tell the whole, and we joined in like that. I did it at a bonfire, UCLA bonfire. By the end of the season in 82, the whole campus was rocking. And then it just sort of kind of ebbed and flowed. And now it is the chant, the cheer of the university. And this year, they brought me back. I ended the end of the year last year, and I did it in the middle of the field for the first time ever in the middle of the stadium. I'd never done it. They had me on the mic, yada, yada, yada. Last year, after that, last year, they then asked me to do the game day. And you saw that on game day. We blew it up, whatever. And this guy, who's been involved in sports forever, he sees it and like he has this dream and bang, go Reza.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, so yeah, he basically laid out the whole story of where Bear Territory came from. And for years, I've heard it and have always loved it, right? Because it's just such a great celebratory type of cheer. And it's meant to be an intimidating cheer to kind of let the other team know that, hey, you're in Bear Territory. You got to come with it because we're going to, like Ahmad explained to me once before, long before there was whose house, our house.
Yeah.
Like that was the cheer, right? To kind of like let people know that you were in for a fight. You came to Memorial Stadium. So, you got game day coming to campus, first time ever, and 6 a.m. Pacific time, it's no sun. It's completely dark outside. Your spotlight goes on to Ahmad, and he kicks it all off by doing Bear Territory. And, man, it just reignited something in me. I'd been working behind the scenes with the athletic department as a volunteer for decades, and it just got me to thinking, tell the whole damn world. If you just take that piece of what Ahmad created, that would make a great name for a podcast. And our mission is really to make it extend beyond just sports, like for the whole university at large. When, institutions of higher academic learning is being attacked here and there and everything, tell the whole damn world what Cal's all about. Tell the whole damn world about all the research and everything we're doing. So anyway, that's kind of a little beyond maybe what you guys had asked about, but that's where it all comes from. And I could not be more honored to be able to do this with Ahmad because he's a living legend.
And lastly, like Reza said, it's about not only the students, but the staff, the faculty, the students and what they did, just the audacity to apply to great schools like Virginia and Cal. Like, I want to go to that school. Well, you did this. And then you get there, you get the resources and the staff to help you make it through and navigate the 4 years or 10 years, whatever it takes you to graduate. and then the great university professors, the Nobel laureates that we have. It's like the Aristotle and Socrates. You're sitting at the feet of these great people, and then you become or have the opportunity with that wisdom and that soul of education to be all you can be, to be the best you can be, coming from UC Berkeley. And that's what Bear Territory is all about.
That's a really cool story.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Last one for each of you. Y'all have final score predictions?
we don't look here. We don't do that. I didn't do that. I look here. Are you yelling like going to the bonfire? You asking me a freshman get more wood so you all can say, this is what Ahmad Anderson, the Hall of Fame, Mr. Bear Territory said. And then I'll look on your website. They'll have a bear in my picture strung out, like roasting me over a rotisserie, like Bear Territory. Bear Territory.
I thought you didn't care your corner.
No, I'm not gonna be that guy, baby. No, I talked to all the trash in the world. My coach once told me, he said, the next time you say that about what we're gonna do, that'll be the last time you do it from this team. You could ask if they have room for you on the bus going home. We don't do that. I think it's gonna be a great game. I do. I'm hoping for it for both of us because we need that recognition. ACC needs to continue to be dominating. But, of course, I'm a Bear all day, every day, baby.
Got you. So before we let you go, y'all want to let our listeners know how to find your content and where to go see you guys at?
Yeah, thanks so much. And yeah, hey, again, we just really appreciate you guys giving us the opportunity to be here today. My little daughter, I think, wants to make a quick little. No, you don't want to? Okay, she's right down here. But yeah,
she's our executive producer.
Yes,
There you go.
You can simply go to tellthewholedamnworld.com. And we are all over the place. We got a YouTube channel for any Cal fans out there. And then also you can find us on Spotify, Apple, Pandora, Amazon, wherever you want to listen to podcasts. But we do everything on camera. And the other thing is that in addition to doing these football recaps and all that football stuff, we actually interview people who've done all these great things who are associated with UC Berkeley, and also do spotlights on prominent people from Cal history, all the different Nobel laureates and everything that are associated with Cal and all that kind of cool stuff. So yeah, we just take it's all meant to instill a lot of pride in people in being associated with Cal.
That's awesome. Well,
Yeah,
we really
great.
had a great time tonight. Really enjoyed this and appreciate you guys taking the time to come on with us. And I hope you guys have a great evening.
You too,
And
brother.
Yeah.
good
Best of
luck
luck
on
Saturday.
Saturday. Just
Thanks
a bit.
so much.
Be
Yeah.
well and be safe, brothers, and best to your families that allow you to do this, because I know that's everything. And hope to see you again as we go down the line together.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yes, sir.
We'll see you.
Man. Thank
All
you
right,
so
my
much,
guy.
guys.
Yep. So once again, I want to thank the Tell the Whole Damn World podcast for coming on. That was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I'm glad. Thanks also to Heel Brothers, Nathan, for linking us up, because that was a blast.
Yeah, one thing that we'll have to get the next time we talk to them, for those that enjoyed that, Ahmad was actually on the field for the famous "The band is on the field, the band is on the field" play. So I meant to talk to him about his perspective, but we'll definitely have them back on if we see them. And I don't know if we see them during basketball this year or not. I haven't checked the schedule to see our matchups with them, but hopefully we'll be able to chat with them again in the future.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of fun. I think we had, I don't know how many questions we had set up to ask them, but we only went through a few of them because it was just straight entertainment.
Good
So
stuff.
definitely go to our website, thecavalierconnection.com, and check out all of our content. Also, new X account at Go Who's Podcast. Go check us out on X, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Also, thewholedamnworld.com. Tellthewholedamnworld.com. If you want to check out their content as well, and they do a lot of good stuff as well. And I think that's going to wrap us up. And go Who's.
Go Who's.